Hello, my name is Zach Goodrich, and this is my assignment, Module 4, Understanding My Community, Elyria Christian School. I'd like to start off with explaining our unique position of being a private Christian school and kind of generating our own community, not being in our own district or also having our own uh, larger or relatively decent sized town to generate some traditions and customs. And so we do that within our own school building. And just to start, we have our main focus is academic excellence, but not to be focused on test scores, but more of putting together a well-rounded student, whether that to be put in the preparation to go to college or put preparation to go into the work field. And so we desire to put a student that is going to benefit just the area they are. And so those things are important to us. Some other areas where we try to make involvement with our community is the Southern Gospel Concert and Back to School Night. Those are kind of events that we connect with McPherson County, this community. We invite those to come and listen to the concert, and it helps with our financial need that is not necessarily in our school year budget. And so that event has been one that we have seen grow, and we've had attendees of 350 to 400 people there, and just to let them know about Elyria Christian School. And the back to school night for our students is one that we want to have that welcoming feel for our new families, their new students. It allows them to meet their classmates, teachers, but it also gets the family to see who is all involved at the school. Our senior mission trip's another highlighted area where we try to, as you see our school motto, we try to educate, equip, and then finally put that engaging piece in God's world for our students as they graduate from Elyria Christian School. Population characteristics. Most of our parents' education would probably end in a bachelor's degree. We have a few parents that have a master's and a handful that have doctorates. Our age breakdown, as you can see, we have a pretty good balance throughout our elementary and high school, kind of small there in junior high. And as you look at the numbers there, and as I calculated the gender there, our overall classes are pretty much half and half, half girls, half boys throughout the school. Our occupations of our parents, more blue collar. We have our farmers, our electricians, and our individuals that work at the refinery. And so we do have a pretty good core of work ethic parents. And so they really help out when we need the volunteers for those different events I mentioned at the beginning. We're pretty much Caucasian dominated at the school, and it's one of those areas where a diversity hasn't really hit our school yet, but hopefully in the next couple of years we will add more diversity. Faith-based, we have 30 plus churches represented at our school, different denominations. Communication channels. One of our main channels is our school website, using the calendar that holds all of our events and activities. A school app that we just added last year is something that we have really found useful for our parents. It's at their fingertips, so they can identify times, locations, upcoming events for their students, or if they have any need to come up to the school and just have conversation with a teacher. Emails, our Eagle Notes is a notes that goes out, email that goes out every Friday, and it's one that just highlights the important activities for that week, whether it's athletic contests, practices, school meals, upcoming volunteer needs. That is a crucial part of our communication channel, and obviously in person with local businesses, faculty to parents, faculty to faculty, and a necessary phone call or text message that needs to go out for announcements. Our community groups, our athletic programs, and our extracurricular activities, those communities develop throughout the year. We have seasons for fall, winter, and spring, and most of those students overlap. And so you can see just how those community groups can continue and expand throughout the student's career. EPIC is Elyria Parents and Community. These parents take on just the challenges of making our teachers feel valued, making our new families feel that they are we just cherish them for being at Elyria, And so that group has been one that has really been a backbone of making Elyria Christian what it is today. And as we add more families and add new families, we continue to hope that will grow with more parents being involved. The ECS Booster Club, that is a club that I lead, and it's one to just get connected with our local businesses in McPherson County, and it helps us fill the needs that we don't have budgeted for our athletic department. School sponsors, whether that's STUCO or class sponsors, um, volunteers, or church groups and alumni, those all work together in ways where, if we have a challenge that maybe a member, a community member that had been through that, or what solutions can we use to connect with our churches a little better, has been important. And so that's why with these groups, we try to identify the best way to utilize those who have are involved or have recently just had a graduate and maybe stepping away to a lighter role. Our leadership, just kind of going down from the top, is our school board, a lead administrator, assistant administrator, elementary principal, athletic director, IT is a third party, and ECS experienced faculty. And one area that is highlighted by our school board and lead administrators, they have a servant heart, and I believe that has been kind of the focus as our school has grown the last couple years. Economic conditions. Obviously, we're enrollment based, so a lot of our school opportunity depends on the tuition we receive for that year, and we do have some endowments. We try to connect with our donors. The Booster Club, again, is for athletics, for the financial needs that aren't included in our yearly budget, and fundraisers and grants. We've had some grants and some matches for our storage shed that was constructed this summer, and then our playground was constructed this summer. And so with the motorized bleachers and stage set, those from the Southern Gospel Concert, you can see where we utilize a lot of our community outreach and our community focus with some of those events, is to help us put together some of these financial needs for our students, but also see the growth of how far we've come. Political structure, we receive no state or government assistance. We are CASHA members, and so that has been an important road to the growth of our school. And we are a non-denominational private school, and we are ACSI members. Social tensions. As I've currently been there for 7 years, I don't know if we have any, and I've talked to some of our administrators that have been there longer than I have. The only one would be with our neighboring schools and their neighboring towns where some of our students come from. Elyria has a radius of about 45 miles of students that travel to our school. And so within those 45 miles, there's a couple schools and our neighboring schools that are 20 miles and 12 miles away. There's been comments, if Elyria didn't exist, these students would be at our school. And so sometimes that happens when it's an athlete or a talented young musician, but other than that, it's small, the tensions that I'm aware of. Previous community efforts, the Southern Gospel Concert and the Celebration Banquet are two that we really try to just outreach to our school body community, but also the McPherson County community. And again, they help us do the things we want to do at the school without stretching our financial need and budget too thin. The church groups and the middle school and preparing for school building, those areas are more volunteering. And as you see at the service day, it's us reaching out to businesses and having our students learn how to serve. Our power structure is top-down model. Our school board sets the expectations, and our lead administrator, he ends up following those through. And with our faculty, we continue to see our school find more stability with our current lead administrator, who is, again, a servant leader, and he had been at the school previously for a stretch. We do have involved parents, which, again, we do want involved parents, but at the same time, involved parents want to maybe give a input on what needs to be better addressed. But I think where our school is right now, we have the ability to respond and say, it won't go off the direction we want the school to go, which is, continue to give the students a well-rounded experience. And this is our 40th year, and so it's been an exciting year as we see how far we've uh, come since the very beginning of the school. Multicultural issues. We don't have really any multicultural issues, obviously, with the 92% Caucasian um, student body, but it's the dress code that we have for expectations, and then the character code expectations, and that character code is carried out not only in our school building but also outside activities and events that the students attend. Probably the only issue is we do not have enough diversity within our school. And within our school, the 30 represented churches, there are some different views on topics, but never have had any open issues. Public opinion, obviously, the academic excellence is one that we continue to hear the most about, but the other ones are from families that had not have attended Elyria, but then, and so we have it was a school for students that cannot make it in public school was one. A lot of families want to consider ECS, but the cost is expensive. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of them say they see that it's a great opportunity for families that desire a Christ-centered education in small classes. And so those are a couple of opinions of the public. And we continue to grow. And I use the picture icon to see and remind myself that that's kind of how our last 7 years have been, and the seeds we have planted, we can see the fruit of them now. From weaknesses to strength, the social tensions have the fewest bullet points, and I think with the schools that are neighbors to us, I usually try to build a bridge. We used to not play a school 12 miles away from us, and our kids go to church with a lot of those students at the other school. And so for me, I just went to build a bridge, and we've developed a great relationship. They've helped us out when we needed a bigger gym for a contest we might have with a school that brings a lot of fans, and we have a lot of fans. And so it's been a great opportunity to grow, and we've done that with a lot of our schools that are nearby. And so that just building that bridge and understanding we're just an alternative, not trying to take anyone's students from their school. The multicultural had the next fewest bullet points in our limited diversity. Just bringing in maybe a speaker with a different diversity, but also as we have our chapels, the opportunity to speak more on mission trips where they can see that and see the challenges. A correlation response, the best way to be involved and understand your community is being a good listener. And throughout my opportunity as athletic director at the school, it's been good to see the growth and communicating just different expectations and desires during the educational experience. And we want the well-being of the student and his or her future success to start with understanding, where they come from. The relevancy statement. This assignment, is one that I connect with a wide range of people every day throughout the year. And it's a reminder just for me to be intentional and purposefully communicate with them what the expectations are as the athletic director and how important they are to our school. Personal reflection. Me being multiracial myself, I do take the opportunity to speak to the students about just different thought processes and different perspectives on life. And, the community for me is one that I've always leaned on. And so that this would be an opportunity for me to continue to teach them that just because someone sees something different doesn't mean it's negative, but also trying to understand why they see it negative or positive. And so for me, I take that opportunity with just deliberateness. And I think as seeing my relationship with the students, but also with the community grow a lot more. And so with that, I appreciate you listening to my Module 4, Understanding My Community. Thank you very much.